And so the time has come for the second heritage review of an American Airlines aircraft. In the past, we have already reviewed the American and US Airways heritage livery. This time around, we get to another former US carrier. And we can do so thanks to our great partner here on the channel, Jumbolino Model, who have great models at reasonable prices with great service. And the best of all, they're collectors themselves, so they really understand where we are coming from. So I can recommend them to you. You can find a link to them in the video description below. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at an Airbus A321-200 of American Airlines. At the front of the box we have a cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of that we have the American Airlines branding. Now, just like with the US Airways aircraft model, Herpa is actually kind of trying to add a little bit of design to their box. However, it is of course really difficult with this kind of box layout. What we can mention here is the fact that this is a limited edition, and we do also have the PSA branding, which of course the livery is based upon. And here she is, the Airbus A321 in the special PSA heritage livery of American Airlines. And where I did have some form of connection, or at least I felt it, with the last heritage livery we reviewed, that was of US Airways, because that is an airline that I have actually still experienced. I have little to no connection with this airline PSA, and frankly I think the livery looks hideous. But that is not important. Important is that we have this model in front of us and we want to figure out how Herpa has done with it. So let's get on with that task. And if we start off with the tail section, specifically the vertical stabilizer, here we have the PSA branding and color scheme. The color scheme is of course continued across the fuselage, where we also find the flag of the United States of America, the full registration code of the aircraft, and the internal registration code of the aircraft. On top of the fuselage, we also have a set dome, and Herpa is very inconsistent with those, but in this case I would say they have actually pretty much nailed down both placement and size of the set dome, so that's quite nice. And towards the very tail of the aircraft we do also have a bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. Now, if we follow the red and orange, what a ghastly combination of a cheat line, to the front of the aircraft, we find the American Airlines branding. Next to the cabin door, we also have the one-word logo, of which the airline, of course, is a full member. We also have the aircraft type specification and one or two static ports or hatches here. So that's overall quite nice, but of course, we could have and perhaps should have far more details overall. But okay, let's move on to the cockpit section itself, where we have, of course, the cockpit windows with a nice metallic edge around those. We have then, typical for, back in the day, basically the blacked out section just underneath the cockpit windows. And we also have the blacked out radome. That looks quite nice. Unfortunately, overall, this paint, it does something to the shape of the nose and the cockpit section. It's never good with Herpa, but I think it looks even worse with this livery, unfortunately. But what about the engine nacelles? Now, they have, of course, been given the same grey base paint as we see otherwise on the aircraft model, and have the silver leading edge and safety markings printed on. That's all the printed details. Physical detailing is alright, I think. I don't really have much to complain about here. Now, on the wings, we have some detailing which we should take a look at. Starting off with the top side, where we have the different flap slats and spoilers carved out quite nicely. We have some different shades of grey for additional detailing. The underside of the wing has more nice physical detailing. Now, the A321-200 in this case has the classic wingtip fences of Airbus, which I think Herpa has worked out really nicely nowadays, much more refined than we have seen in the past. The landing gear, that is the standard landing gear that we see on all Airbus A320 family aircraft from Herpa Wings. A good thing for the main landing gear. Front landing gear still hideously oversized, and of course also here no printed details. On the belly of the aircraft we don't have any printed details, which means it is not such a big sin that we have this hole in the fuselage, even though this is of course made for a stand that is not included with this aircraft model. Quite silly. And then last but not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here at the back of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Airbus A321-200 in the special American Airlines Heritage livery of PSA from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Now, I have revealed that I'm not a big fan of this livery, so I have to be careful that I don't judge the model too harshly just because I'm not a big fan of the livery itself. But, well, I will give it a try. Because, honestly speaking, I think this is quite a lackluster model. It doesn't have much to offer. I mean, yes, the print quality itself is okay. We don't really have print lines, which this model most definitely could have suffered from. We have clean edges, so that is already quite good news for Herpa Wings. I think overall the Heritage livery has been executed fairly well on this aircraft model, but I have my issues with it. I mean, we of course have the oversized landing gear. We of course have a weird cockpit shape, and it really is not helped by the livery, the paint we have here at the cockpit section, the nose section. It further distorts the really weird shape that Herpa has on their mold here. So yeah, it's not really being helped in this case. But for me, the model feels empty, and it's more than just me not liking the livery. And it's kind of strange, I know, because as such, the model does not have less details as so many other Herpa Wings models, but it just feels more empty for some reason. And yeah, therefore, it's just a bit lackluster. It's a bit disappointing overall. I mean, the good thing is that this livery is actually still flying around, because a couple of years ago, Herpa released the A319s of the American Airlines Heritage liveries just after they had been retired. This is still flying around, so that's good news. But overall, I think this is really something for an American Airlines collector who is collecting scale 500, who wants to complete their fleet. This is basically why I've done it. I've got this model because it will work with my Philadelphia setup, but otherwise there would be no incentive for me to get this model because I don't think it really offers anything. It is, yeah, for me, really lackluster, boring. And yeah, sure, yes, of course, the livery will definitely play into my feelings about it, but it really does not offer very much. But what are your thoughts? And I really do apologize if this is your favorite livery and me basically hating on it. It's not what I want to do. It just doesn't really catch me. But as I said, what do you think about this aircraft model? Is there more to it than meets the eye? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. Now, if you have enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like. If you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? And with that, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.